And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. We want to help you understand your buying decisions, make you more street smart, and an educated consumer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 8 years on air. Real excited about the growth around the show. All of our great partners, 50-plus show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, home services, great experts of all areas that can help you understand your buying decisions and avoid commission-based advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-750-0550.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Call or text the hotline anytime, 813-750-0550. That's an off-air number. And also bookmark consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. And we got a great lineup for you today here on the show. Coming up later in the show, we've got Linda Ward. You've heard Linda on the show talking about Gulfside Healthcare Services, home health care, palliative care, and all the ways they can help folks out there as well if you've been injured. Also, Thomas King's in the house. Florida Firearms Academy back in studio. He's a Second Amendment He's for the Second Amendment. He's got his shop over at Florida Firearms Academy as well, FFAtampa.com. And he's brought a special guest in as well, Jason Nastasi, as well, owner of Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers here on the program. And Diane Vance is our mortgage expert contributor as well. I'm going to ask Diane about foreclosures and loan mods, what's happening in that space. A lot of people were thinking, hey, these COVID-19 Chinese virus extensions have been extended. What's going to happen at the end of the month? So I'm going to ask her about that. Coming up here on the program, I want to thank our sponsors here, Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter and his team. They do such a great job. If you're thinking about putting gutters on your home, reach out to Brandon Porter. He's a veteran. He's served this country, this great country, and his products are American-made. He's from right here in Tampa Bay, Clearwater area, Riverview. Does a lot of work out East Hillsborough County. Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter. Make sure you let him know the real estate quarterback sent you so you can take him up on those special offers and incentives. Now, on our show, we like to feature our real estate properties. My wife, Lindsay, and I are a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, and we have about 45 listings at any given time. And I just took another great one on the beach. This is over on Bel Air Beach. This hasn't even hit the MLS yet. 117 14th Street. Beautiful pool home. Now, the owner is an interior designer, so this home is decked out to the core. Beautiful property. 117 14th Street, Bel Air. And it's listed over $1 million. I think it's a $1.2 million listing of mine. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We also have vacant land available. If you're looking for land, we've got some vacant land opportunities right here in Tampa Bay. 6513 South County Line Road. This is East Hillsborough County. 4.8 acres. You could build a home and an additional outbuilding, maybe a shed or some type of a pole barn. 6513 South County Line Road out in East Hillsborough County. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, let's make our introductions. Let's start in studio here. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Welcome back, my friend.
Thanks, Brandon. Blessed to be here and happy as always.
Citizen of the Year Award. Congratulations on that from the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Can you imagine that? Boy, it's actually great that when you have great people standing behind you for what we do, it's actually a great, amazing feeling.
Yeah, it's a team, right? It's a team approach.
Absolutely.
You got a great team, Marty, and the team over there. I mean, they do such a great job, all the different benefits and barbecues. And we had Ken Shamrock there last couple years, just fun time.
That was fun.
Florida Firearms Academy, always a great time. You always, have hot dogs or hamburgers and feeding the folks and just doing some really cool stuff over there.
Charity, donations, getting it going.
Protecting the Second Amendment.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you brought a guest in as well, Jason Nastasi, CEO, owner, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Welcome in.
Welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. What's one of your quick tips? What would you like to talk about today?
Quick tip for us is just when you come into the store, just let us know what's going on with the vehicle. And if you ever have any hesitation, if you're hearing something from the advisor, whatever it may be, if it doesn't sound right, just ask to show me.
Right.
Go out and look at your car.
Yeah.
It's your car. Have them take you outside. You can look at the vehicle and have them explain it to you. That's probably one of the best tips out there.
Yeah, I've been wanting to have an auto expert on the show because there's all these different scenarios that play out. It's like I think a lot of times they try to talk over your head. You know,
Absolutely.
just like it's funny. Like in the medical profession, they have all these crazy words, and it really means you mean indigestion, but this weird crazy word. Oh, and why didn't you just say indigestion? Oh, well, it makes me sound smarter if I say this word. But in the car industry and the auto industry, and there's an equivalent there.
It's the exact same thing. To be successful, you have to be honest up front with the customers, but you have to put it in a language that they understand.
Exactly.
And one of our core values is when you leave our shop, you should be more educated about your vehicle.
Right.
Because we feel if we educate you on what's going on with the vehicle, the good and the bad, you're going to make a better decision. And your car is going to last longer.
Absolutely. All right. More from our expert contributors coming up, Jason and Thomas here in studio. Let's go to Diane Vance on the phones. Fairway Independent Mortgage. Diane, I wanted to ask you the question. Foreclosures, the moratorium, loan modifications. What's happening in that space?
Well, actually, it's funny you ask because Adam just released their foreclosure report. Year-over-year foreclosure starts are up 36%. But no one was doing foreclosures last year due to the moratorium and forbearances. So, which is really actual foreclosures are really 23%, but they are down 8% over the last month. So the reason, of course, is forbearance have dropped for the last 15 weeks. 2 million people are still in forbearance with 700,000 due to expire at the end of the month.
Wow.
And these forbearance have been decreasing. Foreclosures over the past month have declined 8%. So that tells you that the forbearance are unwinding gently. But forbearance, as you know, are expected to expire soon. So what people have to do is they call their lender and they can do one of three things. Is they can pay up whatever their amount is due. They can request a 12-month payback period, so they'll divide whatever they're due over a 12-month period. The other option is to go ahead and have a modification. Now, they do need to qualify for modification, so if they don't have a job, they may not be able to do the modification. So the best thing for them to do is go ahead and call their lender, whoever is servicing their loan, and talk to them. Just don't ignore just make sure you talk to them.
Right.
So they kind of expect, foreclosures are still out there, and we'll probably actually see a little bit of an increase.
Yeah, and it always comes down to the open line of communication in any business relationship. It's communication with your lender is key, especially in these positions where you have a foreclosure, we have an unprecedented pandemic, and then people, they don't understand. A lot of times that could be either wrapped around to the end of the loan, or they might say, hey, you've got to bring all those last 3, 6, 9 months up current before you're not going to be back into a foreclosure notice of default situation.
Yes, and it really does depend on communication, and they really do need to call and find out what is the next step that they need to do. Right now, the forbearances are not being called, but it will happen. Now, they're also facing a couple other things. Is that that yesterday the Fed met, and the producer price index is up. Inflation is up, but they feel like it's a transition inflation. So we don't know that. Is this going to be a long-term situation, or is it just because everybody was, in lockdown and, people are just coming out of the COVID situation that it's causing the prices to increase? So it may be that, that starts to slow down a little bit. As far as I just heard last week that lumber prices were starting to come down somewhat. So that's probably good news. So we know there's a lot of shortages and things like that. So, we shall see what happens. Although the feds, they said they were dovish, which means that they were kind of keeping to the same. They're still going to buy mortgage-backed securities. They're being very careful about what they say because depending on how the market reacts. So, but forbearances are definitely, it's coming to an end. And they definitely need to start calling, do it ahead of time, start calling your lender to make sure that if you are in forbearance, what your options are. Like I said, just don't don't just not call and expect that it'll be okay, because they will actually start, and they really don't want to take people's homes. That's not the idea.
Right.
The last thing a lender wants to do is have somebody's home, because it's actually very expensive. So that's not the only reason they don't like to do it. So, just make sure you communicate and talk to your lender. Make sure that you're staying open lines of communication with them.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're talking with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program, DianeVance.com, if you want to get in touch with her, or you can hit the hotline up as well. Let's switch gears. I want to talk about opportunities, because wherever there is, somebody that's having a foreclosure, loan modification ending, they can't make the payment, that opens up opportunities on the other side for investors. What are you seeing on that side, Diane?
Well, we are actually seeing, it's funny, I've been talking to some folks, and they are actually seeing, one of the investors that they had spoken with said that they had to buy so many investment properties every month. And we're actually seeing we're seeing more and more investors. Now, with that comes, price increases, because, your investors a lot of times can pay cash. And of course, we want our first-time home buyers to have opportunities to be able to purchase as well. But the investor is, they're out there. They're looking for homes. I think because Florida is such a hot market for real estate, that they are, they're wanting the increase in values, because they've seen what the values have done in the last few years. So we have a lot of investors actually purchasing a lot of second homes too. Second homes and investors are a big item right now, because people from other states are coming in to buy, and they may be adding to their portfolio, or they may actually someday they want to retire here, and they want to make sure they buy while the prices are where they're at, so
right.
that appreciation isn't happening as fast as it has. At the same time, the investors are hoping that the appreciation happens as fast as it can. So we're seeing both.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's a great time for an investor to buy a triplex, a duplex, a quad. You can still buy that under the conventional financing for an owner occupant. Talk about the differences in loan types there.
Yeah, so if you're buying, so what happens is, if you're going to move into it, what a great way to actually build equity and build wealth is, let's say you buy a duplex or a triplex or something like that. The other units they can actually offset your mortgage payment. So not only do you increase your equity, you also have somebody making your mortgage payment where you're probably almost living there for free. So it's actually it's a win-win situation for somebody. Now, I do have a specific investor that she constantly buys. That's what she buys, is multi-unit properties. And
right.
She comes in and she buys. She usually will pay cash and come in and do what is called delay financing to pull the cash back out. So, it's great for a primary residence. Now, with FHA, you can also do that, right? So FHA, you only have to put 3.5% down if you're going to move into the property. Under conventional, you would be, if it's a duplex, you have to put 15% down. So it's a little different depending on whether what your goals are. But as a primary, it's a great way to build equity, build wealth, and actually have somebody make your payment.
Absolutely. You're passive as a landlord in some cases. Of course, yeah, you have property management that can help you with that. You're going to have a fee based on that. But you're somewhat passive, and then you're able to live in one side, and especially if you have a VA. Let's talk about our veterans. We love our veterans. We love to support the veterans out there. We offer a quarter to a half a point discount for any veteran that buys through us, with us, or even lists and sells with us. And I know a lot of our expert contributors have special offers for the veterans, since they've served our great country and put it all on the line. But talk a little bit about the veterans as well, because they can access some of these. They can live in one side, rent the other side out, have an
Correct.
income property, and then later sell that property, go and do it again.
Yes, absolutely. They can use their VA benefits and as many times as they want. Matter of fact, you can even have duplicate VA benefits now, whereas prior to January you could not. Now you can actually have more than one. So it's with VA you can purchase a home with zero down. And the reason I'm in Savannah is because my daughter's husband is a lifetime military. He's at leadership school right now in Alabama. So we're staying here to help with the new baby. But I'm big on helping veterans, and we love our veterans. Fairway is number 4 in the country for VA loans. Fairway also does giveaways for seeing high dogs and things like that for veterans. We're big on helping out all of our vets, but purchasing a home, VA is the best way to buy. If you have that benefit, oh my goodness, it's the best way. It's very lenient. It doesn't really have debt to income ratio. It's a zero down program, and it's by far the easiest way to go. If anybody out there has it. Now, we have seen some with the tightness. I don't know if you've seen this, Brandon, but if there's a veteran that is actually, or a veteran that has actually is selling the house, a lot of times they prefer that another veteran buy their house.
Right.
Yeah,
as opposed to some of these hedge funds like Blackwater, these hedge funds coming in, that's one of the worst things about capitalism, and sometimes it gets a rap, but these big billionaire hedge funds coming in, buying up inventory, beating out that first time home buyer or that veteran buyer because the seller has a stigma of, well, I heard those loans are a little bit harder, or hey, let's just take the cash.
Yeah, and they are not harder. And we have a program called Advantage Plus where we can actually pre-approve somebody. It goes through, you get a commitment it goes through underwriting, everything. Most of my pre-approvals are just like underwriting, a commitment, but it actually goes through underwriting. We give the customer commitment, so it's just like cash. There is no difference.
That's awesome. All right, we got to get to the break here, but DianeVance.com. Find her online, DianeVance.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage, longtime friend of the program, local lender, support the local economy. Thanks a lot, Diane.
Thank you.
Have a good one. All right, coming up, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Citizen of the Year award winner, Thomas King on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's also brought his guest, Jason Nastasi, on the program as well as guest, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Find out a little bit about the insides of the auto repair industry, that is, right here on the program. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, firefighter carries unconscious husky down 15 floors and saves his life. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, top 1% realtor in the area, top 1% out of 25,000 realtors. We're in the top 200. Giving a shout out to Discovery Golf Cars right here for recreation or business. It seems like everybody's getting a golf car these days. They've got lots of makes and models: Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman. They offer new and pre-owned. Also, you can rent or buy, and they have financing and mobile repair. Tampa and Clearwater locations. Check them out online, discoverygolfcars.com. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you so you can take them up on special offers and incentives. And a couple of hot listings for this segment. We've got some great opportunities here in Tampa Bay. Some great properties. 801 and 803 East Palm Avenue in Tampa. This is a multifamily property. Investors looking for passive cash flow. This is currently rented out short-term as a hostel. 801 and 803 East Palm Avenue in Tampa. Great buying opportunity, great 1031 exchange opportunity. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right. Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy Citizen of the Year award winner. And, one of the things I want to start with when it comes to this, because you see a lot of this, the gun grabbers trying to take our rights, trying to, they're infringing more now than ever with COVID as a guise for, we got to wear the face diapers, you got to do the whole thing, right? But when it comes to the definition of assault rifle, I remember seeing on C-SPAN, I think it was Senator Rand Paul asking, I forgot who was on the opposing side. They couldn't define it. And I think that's where they kind of scare people. Oh, this is an assault rifle.
Well, it's called the AR-15, and they call it assault rifle because of the AR. But the actual people that made that weapon is called Armalite rifle. AR, that's what it stands for, Armalite rifle. But people don't know the definition of it, so they call it an assault rifle. Well, you can have an assault cell phone. You can have an assault coffee if you throw that on someone. And whatever you use, a pen, it's an assault pen now. It's whatever you use to attack someone with. Yeah, of course, that's what you're going to assault them with. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of misnomers out there around, the Second Amendment.
There is. And you know what? In California, the judge out there just ruled and removed the ban of the AR-15 out there and let the media know. I don't know if you listened to his report on that, but it was outstanding. He said that the media portrays and lies about the AR-15, that knives kill 7 times more people than not just the AR-15, all rifles combined, including hunting rifles. There's over 10,000 rifles out there. Knives, bats, hands kill more than all rifles combined, all together. So, it's just what the media puts out there for their agenda. So
that's right.
It's not about what you use. Jim Jones, he killed over 900 people with Kool-Aid. Well, it technically wasn't Kool-Aid, but it was kind of, that's what they all say with the story. You had the Oklahoma bomber who killed 167 people with cow manure. It's not what you use. So what we have and what we use for our defense at home is what we need to use. Some people should not have a firearm, and they maybe mentally cannot have a firearm, so they should use something else to protect them and their family because they are the first responder.
Yeah. You ever wake up early? I woke up early one morning. I was watching C-SPAN, and I said, you know what? I'm going to call in. And it was something about gun debate. Mm-hmm. It was, should they take away our guns or whatever, one of those gun debates. And I called in. I actually got through. They said, where are you from? I said, Brandon and Palm Harbor. So they put me on the air.
No,
and I brought up all the facts because we've had great interviews together over the years. I said, what about the FDA pumping drugs into these kids and with heavy metals in them? I said, what about the EA Sports and Sony and all these different gaming companies with these violent games where you actually get points for running over a prostitute or whatever it might be? I said, what about all these other types of assaults against our youth and the people involved? But you want to go directly and take the guns? You want to grab the guns from good, honest people that are just trying to protect their family? What about the McCluskeys standing in their front yard holding their gun, not pointing at anyone, and then the mob comes into their yard? The ideal reason why you'd want to have a gun, and then now they're on trial because they live in the wrong state.
Yep. And it's scary because the way the government works is they always look towards the victim. So like a woman, they tell women, hey, when you walk at night, walk with someone else, or put your keys in your hands, or if you're at the bar, cover your drink, or so many things that they tell women. Why don't they tell men to stop molesting women or beating women? Why don't you go after the source that's actually doing it?
Yeah.
Even gun rights. So one bad guy, one evil person uses some kind of object to hurt kids. Well, why don't they go after him instead of taking away our rights?
Yeah, we're going to continue this conversation on the other side of the break. More with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Also, Jason Nastasi on the program here. Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers on the show. And we'll be right back after this short break. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you. Our YouTube channel has over 1,200 videos on it. Brandon Rhymes Realty on YouTube. At Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. 1200 Gulf Boulevard in Clearwater. This is a gorgeous property on the beach. This is a penthouse with 4,000 square feet, 3 separate terraces, $2.67 million listing of mine. Unit number 1805 at the Meridian on Sand Key. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay, 1200 Gulf Boulevard. This has resort-style amenities, beautiful pool, lots of areas to just enjoy, fitness center on site, of course. And the best part, you walk out, you got the barbecue area, you got the pool, and then you walk down the deck, your private deck, private entrance, and then you've got the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters, a beautiful Clearwater beach. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And a quick shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. They can offer you a safe and effective way to restore your body's immune systems and crucial vitamins. And I love it. I go in, I get a nurse hooks me up to a vitamin infusion drip right into my bloodstream. All the great stuff going into your body. Do it at least once a month. Reach out to our friends, Replenish IV Solutions. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, back here in studio, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, located right over here in right close to the line, close to the county line there of Pinellas and Hillsborough, Florida Firearms Academy. Got lots of great classes over there, lots of training available, and that's one of the keys is to get, if you're going to be a gun owner, firearms owner, carry a concealed permit, you got to get the training.
Well, I want to know if I'm a consumer quarterback advocate, do I get a discount on that condo right there? You
could. I'll tell you what,
pretty amazing.
You make an offer today, I'll give you a special deal.
I'll do a cash deal right now. Hey, I also want to say thank you to Diane Vance. Great information, and I'm going to pass on that information about the veterans too, because we have a lot of veterans that come to our store. But what we do is we do 40 different types of classes, from beginner all the way up to grandmaster shooter. If you want to learn how to really shoot, not just sport, competition, but also home defense, we have an indoor range. You run through room, shoot bad guys, bowling pins, still targets, balloons in the dark. Whatever the scenario may be, we'll set you up. We'll make sure you do it correctly, safely, and accurately. We have over 20 instructors there. We also build firearms. We have firearms, and we're also the coolest place because I must be doing something right. The mayor gave me the Citizens of the Year award, and also that's why I always give you guys the best guests here too. I don't give you guys anybody low. So I got Jason with me today as well. He actually just won Business of the Year. Nice. I take my car to him, and when you just hear Oil Express, it's not just getting your oil changed. They do it all. I bring in high, beautiful cars to him. I bring in some older cars. I have a company car. I have a sports car, race car, and he does it all for me. So that's actually really cool. And what they do for COVID, they've actually set up something really amazing. But right now, what we're doing at our store is we're helping so many people, and Jason and I have teamed up. We're putting together this whole fundraising thing for the kids because we have to get 400 of these little kids to the zoo day, and that's a lot of money. I think it's $12,000. Is that what it was, Jason?
Yeah, it's about $12,000.
So we were raising all this. I'm going to be donating some firearms. Jason's putting together a whole package deal so you can come into our store, buy a ticket, win something amazing, and we also have tickets for like Lightning or I don't know. We'll probably be giving away Mercedes or no, nothing that crazy. But I'll have some very beautiful firearms you're going to win. And we do this because we want to give back to the community. We love what we do and the people in our community. And also with the Chamber of Commerce, we're both members here, and we do a lot together. We're always like a family these days.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell us a little bit about you got 2 locations right here in Tampa Bay, you said.
Yes, we do. So we got our location out in the Oldsmar area. It's 3931 Tampa Road, and its phone number out there is 813-578-8111. And then we have our Tampa location, which is going to be right on Waters Avenue, which is 3861 West Waters Avenue. Its phone number is 813-483-4242. And that one shares the parking lot with the Wawa's right there on Del Mabry and Waters Avenue.
Yep.
And we're basically your one-stop auto repair. We do absolutely everything. You can have a 10-minute oil change where you never get out of your vehicle, all the way to full auto repair service. And we also guarantee they have the lowest price on tires. We'll beat everybody. Every big box store, Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart, Tire Rack,
Really?
Amazon.
Nice.
We will beat them all across the board.
It's like Ferrari dealership clean. It's impressive when
That's
you walk.
really cool.
You also have that crazy machine in there that changes the tires that doesn't even touch it or something.
Yeah, so our equipment is top notch. We have zero clearance alignment racks, so we can do all kinds of exotic vehicles. Our tire changers, nothing actually touches the wheel. So guaranteed no scratches on your wheels.
Let me ask you this. So because our show is all about helping people, in these different situations, kind of like we talked about in the first seg. But what are some of the most common consumer advocate tips, like things, misnomers, people coming in and or places that you've seen people get taken advantage of when it comes to their maintenance on their vehicles?
The biggest thing, absolutely the biggest thing, and people may not know what the item on the car does. They may not know what a tie rod end is or what this hose actually does, but most people understand what broken looks like.
Okay.
So if somebody comes in and your car goes behind the big brick wall and a big ugly guy like me comes out and starts talking to you and tells you need to pay $2,000.
Yeah.
Show me. Mm-hmm. Please show me. Take me to my vehicle.
Yeah.
Air filters. You want to see them. And the cool part about what we do, for the oil change, you're in your car the entire time. Yeah. So you're going to watch us pull your air filter right out of the box. Yeah. You're going to watch us check all the fluids right there. And then we bring them to you and explain it. And we educate you on it. Our service bays, giant bay windows in the lobby so you can watch us work on your vehicles.
That's great.
It's all about transparency.
Yep.
And that's what you want to be looking for. So my biggest tip for people is just show me.
Yeah.
Just ask that.
I like it. So we're talking with Jason Nastasi on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's the owner of Express Oil Change Tire Engineers here in Tampa Bay, Waters Avenue location, Tampa Road location. And something else when it comes to tires, how do you know, is there a certain amount of tread? Like, it's like, okay, those need to go. You got to upgrade to the, especially during raining season.
Absolutely. So without getting too crazy technical, 430 seconds of tread, you start to lose your wet weather capabilities. 230 seconds of tread, they need to come off the car. They're legally bald at that point. Most tires start with anywhere between 8 and 12, seconds of tread, brand new, just depending on what type of tire you buy.
Okay.
So, and that can all be measured.
Most people go in when they see the metal coming through the tires. I think I might need some new tires now.
I hear that all the time. It's, I still got tread left.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't.
They call those Maypops.
Yeah, they're Maypop. Maypop now, Maypop later.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, you're going to be on the side of the road.
What's funny is people come in and say, hey, do you have any $100 firearms? We have all these rentals you can try. And I'm like, well, save up and get something what's it for, first off? And they say, oh, it's for home defense. So I'm like, well, save up a little bit more and buy something, around the $400 range. You can get something very good quality. And $400? And I'm like, is it to protect your life? And they're like, I'm like, think about going to the car dealership and you say, hey, man, I need some new brakes. Put on these brake pads that stop my car every once in a while.
Yeah,
What good is that going to do? So you guys do brakes there. You guys do everything.
We do absolutely everything. There's nothing that we don't do there. We can take care of your car. We are one-stop shop. You don't have to go to 2 or 3 other places. But one thing I do want to talk about real quick is you guys were talking about military and first responders earlier. So just to let everybody know that we do have Purple Heart parking spaces in both of our stores. Nice. We like to honor the veterans that come in. All veterans, first responders, active, retired, whatever they are, all get free flat repairs. Because there again, what's the biggest headache? You come out to the car and you got a flat.
Yep.
That can ruin your entire day, even though it's a cheap fix. But we bring them into the store, we fix them free of charge, and get you back on the road as quick as possible. We got to
get going to our next segment, but give us your final thought, Thomas, and then Jason will get your final thought.
Hey, I always say, you are the first responder. You are the one in charge of protecting your kids. Make sure that you protect them with some way, somehow. Karate, firearms training is something that you can do. And also see my boy over here, Jason, as at the Express Oil Change.
And when you guys come out and see us over at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, just please mention the Brandon Rhymes Show to all my guys. You're going to get 25% off your oil change that day.
Nice.
So come on in, let them know you heard us on the show, and we'll show you some love for it.
Thanks for doing that. We appreciate that. Coming up, we've got Linda Ward in the house, Gulfside Healthcare Services, plus our feel-good story of the day. Firefighter carries unconscious husky down 15 floors and saves his life. Shout out to our first responders here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We always love to tell you something good here on the program.
You used to call me on
That's
my
the wrong
cell
button.
phone.
Where's my Tell Me Something Good? There it is.
Tell me something good.
All right, so firefighter carries unconscious husky down 15 floors and saves his life. Firefighters and animal control officers rescued a husky from a high-rise apartment building in Virginia, a fire in Virginia Beach last Sunday. Virginia Beach Fire Department said that the fire took place at an apartment building on 34th Street and Pacific. The fire was up on the 15th floor. The dog was unconscious when a firefighter found him, but they immediately got him oxygen after carrying him down 15 floors to the street. The dog quickly became alert and responsive. The husky, named Igor, was taken to Beach Bay Vet Hospital for further treatment, and his owners were notified and is expected to make a full recovery. There's your feel-good story of the day, especially for our dog lovers out there. I got 2 poodles, so I don't know. Are you a dog lover too, Linda?
I am.
All right. We love our animals.
We do.
So Linda Ward in studio, back in studio. It's been a little while since we've seen you. She's the president and CEO of Gulfside Healthcare Services. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you as well.
Excellent. Yes. So what's new in your world?
My world, let's see. Well, healthcare does not slow down, right? So the past year and a half has been tremendously challenging, however, very successful.
That's great.
Our team has done a great job. We just never really slowed down and just keep serving people in need. So really happy about that.
Seems like you're growing and expanding, too, if I recall.
We are. We're growing significantly, especially in Pinellas County. The last year, we've grown our home health to about 140 patients. We serve Pasco with hospice and home health and palliative care.
Nice.
And Pinellas has really grown, and now we're starting to move into Hillsborough with our home health division.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And your company is comprised of all types of great nurses, caretakers, I believe you call them, volunteers involved with the company. You have thrift stores as well that people wanted to donate. I mean, it's a very vast organization, lots of parts involved.
Yes, lots of parts, very comprehensive. You know, we're in the retail business. We have 5 thrift shops that bring in about $3 million of gross revenue a year.
That's awesome.
To support our programs and services that we're not reimbursed for, which is great. Most of the volunteers that work in the thrift shops, they either have had an experience with hospice or home health or palliative care, and all of the inventory that comes into the shops are donated, and the majority of those donations come from people that have experienced one of our services.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a full circle.
Yeah, and we're actually looking for space right now in Pinellas County for our 6th thrift shop / home health office.
Awesome. Very cool. Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. So if you know any commercial property out there, let me know.
I know a good realtor. If you want.
I do.
Yeah, that's the thing. The challenge with real estate now is there's so much competition. Maybe a little less on the commercial side, but I think there's going to be some where you're changing use, so maybe office space might come available that could be converted to retail, or those types of situations. I think we're going to see that, but yeah, we could certainly put a search together, and it might be opportunity also to, if you can find vacant land or something to tear down and build something. That's another part of it. But then the flip side of that is a lot of the costs have gone up. Right.
We invest in capital, but typically at the patient care perspective, so like freestanding inpatient care centers.
Yep.
We'll build, not sure about office space and thrift shop space. We'll either purchase something or lease something, but you never know. An opportunity might arise.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, you have 3 service lines as well in conversion analytics.
Yes, we do. I wanted to speak to you a little bit about this, Brandon, because it's really been amazing. When you're a business leader, you're always thinking about what can we do that meets our mission, continues to serve patients in need, and grow and expand, right?
Yep.
Because hospice is not a free market in the state of Florida. It's based on utilization and need. So we knew that we could only expand hospice so far, which we are serving almost 700 patients a day in Pasco County alone, which is the county we're licensed in. So when we acquired a 4-county home health license, the goal was to expand our company and add that 3rd service line to the non-hospice palliative patients, so Gulfside Palliative Care and Gulfside Hospice, and add that skilled nursing component post-hospitalization for rehab, and skilled home health, nursing, et cetera. And I wanted to watch and see if the conversions and analytics were going to really come to fruition based on my projections. And I wanted to share some information with you now that we have been in full business with our home health line of service line for 2 years. So on hospice discharges, a lot of patients do discharge off hospice. They no longer meet the criteria. They do well. So about 14% of all of our hospice patients that actually, stabilize go to skilled home health now.
Wow.
So if they no longer meet the criteria for hospice, we don't just say, sorry, we don't have anything to help. We can't help you. We say, you know what? We're still going to provide care in your home through our skilled nursing.
Okay.
So home health. Same thing with home health discharges. Home health, skilled home health, we're not on the companion care. We're skilled care. So you go into the hospital, you break a hip, you go home, and we provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, nursing.
Wow.
Then you are all rehabbed. But maybe in the midst of that skilled home health experience, we also see that you've got chronic illness for COPD. And we say, well, you know what, we can provide palliative care for that. Or we discover you may have had a hip fracture, but you also have late-stage dementia or late-stage ALS or cancer. So sometimes our home health patients are appropriate for hospice, and they meet that criteria. So that conversion is about 10%. But the amazing conversion that I want to share with you is we have a service line called Gulfside Palliative Care. It's non-terminal. It's for chronically ill people that have pain and symptom needs. 67% in the last 12 months of our palliative patients have converted to hospice care.
67% of your palliative have converted to hospice care.
Yes. And just in May alone, 83% of all of our palliative consults converted to hospice. And what that says is that I'm so glad we offer palliative care, because sometimes it's a little softer pill to swallow.
Right.
Than hospice.
Right.
And even if they really are at the end of life, we don't pressure. We just say, let's have a physician call you and talk about what's going on with your illness, and we'll help you with your pain and symptoms. And then when the time is right, when they really are at that late stage, it's a lot easier to bring in hospice care. So, and the toggling back and forth in looking at those analytics, you can really just visualize what's happening here. And some months,
I can actually put that up on the screen.
Okay, so basically, our business is doing what we hoped it would do. And it's just basically showing that people go back and forth in and out of all of our services.
Right.
And we're so proud of that. And I'm so happy to be able to service that.
Well, that's great, Linda. I mean, that's really interesting because you're able to transition them from one need to another. And then a lot of times, hey, if I'm going home, okay, great. Home health care is a wonderful option. I'm in my home. I'm more comfortable at home. And it just seems like things are really working out well. And you've got a great team. We've heard from a lot of your team. I love how you bring different folks on the program, and we get to know your staff as well. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Gulfside Healthcare Services President and CEO Linda Ward here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program. Again, another example of a great local company to support here in the Tampa Bay area, nonprofit, operating as a nonprofit. So that opens up the door for volunteers, for donations, and things of that nature.
Yes, absolutely. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We still certainly have to make a profit. We call it surplus in the nonprofit world because we are a $53 million organization, meaning the monies that come in, the revenue lines are hospice care, home health, palliative care, thrift shops, and fundraising. We are not government funded in terms of grants or anything. So every revenue opportunity comes from serving patients and being paid by commercial insurances or Medicare or Medicaid or the thrift shop, those types of things, or fundraising. But what's really wonderful is our fundraising is so successful throughout the Tampa Bay, and now we have even started fundraising for our skilled home health.
Nice.
So we have a program called Grateful Home Health, patient or discharge, and these are patients that have had home health. And they're no longer receiving services, but they got rehabbed and had skilled home health, and they're happy about our services and they want to give back. And because that falls under our 501c3, we could do that too. We have lots of community events. You've had our fundraising team on before as well. And
yes.
So we've got Palooza coming up, which is a big band
music festival
and all that. So that's going to be fun and different variations.
October 16th in Zephyr Hills.
Yes.
Awesome.
You got that. Good.
Palooza. That's a great name. That sounds like a lot of fun. Palooza Music Festival, October 16th, Zephyr Hills. And then I think you also have an educational webinar coming up.
We do. We don't have that date yet. I'm gonna let you know when the date is, but we're going to be doing a home health webinar. We did our first last year and had about maybe 60, 70 people attend. It was really, really great. So we need to do that again and just educating the community.
Gulfside.org is where you can find more information. Real great, short. I love those URLs that are easy.
Yes.
Gulfside.org, Facebook.com/Gulfside Healthcare Services as well. I'm sure you can have more information there about the Palooza Music Festival or the educational webinar coming up. And so it sounds like things are going really well. I love how you have pastors on hand as well. I think that connection with God or the spiritual side for a lot of people is so important in that hospice setting.
Yes, and we're finding it's important in any setting.
Right.
So we have chaplains, and they're all master's prepared chaplains, but non-denominational.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what type of religion you are a part of, or if you even are part of, if you're just really feel that from a spirituality standpoint, or just from a outreach perspective, if you would like to speak with a chaplain, any one of our service lines offers that as well.
Yeah, that's great. It's always good to have that person that's going to lend an ear, someone to talk to, bounce ideas off of, and just that counseling approach, the chaplain approach. That's such a great thing you do.
Yes, and it complements and supplements sometimes what our clinical social workers do, because we do have master's prepared clinicians that are social workers that really delve into more of the therapeutic, psychosocial needs. But sometimes people don't want that; they just want to talk to somebody, and our chaplains do really well with that.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Linda, final thoughts. Give us your final takeaways, final thoughts, maybe nuggets of advice.
Well, again, if you are at home, alone, and in need of some, services, but you're not quite sure, what you could use. You've been to your doctor, you've got some chronic illness, and you'd like to see if you're eligible for services, just call that 800 number, 561-4883, and we can just come out and evaluate you. We don't have to have a physician's order to do so. Or if you are a family caregiver or a caregiver, let's say you live in the Tampa Bay area or outside of the Tampa Bay area, or your parent is home alone, but you're worried about that parent and you work full time, or you just think that he or she may need some care, you've got a senior that you're caring for, just call our number and ask if we can come out and evaluate. We'd love to see, if we can help you.
Awesome. Yep, I'll give the number 800-561-4883, gulfside.org. Linda Ward, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks
Pleasure
for coming
to be
in.
here. Thanks for having me.
We had another great show today. Diane Vance, Thomas King, Jason Nastasi as well on the program. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.